Hey everyone, so I was searching photos online for inspirational kind of makeup looks that I could make a tutorial about, and I stumbled across a really gorgeous picture of Taylor Swift at a red carpet event, and I thought it was just the most classic look. I reinterpreted it and I used solely M.A.C cosmetics, so hopefully whoever is watching is a fan of M.A.C. If not, I apologize. Just take this tutorial as somewhat of a jumping off point and substitute the products for things that you already love. I'm going to jump right into it and I hope that you enjoy the look. So I've already taken a couple of steps to prep my skin before applying any actual product, and I made sure to massage a really hydrating lotion into my face, and that is Cetaphil moisturizing lotion, and just gave it a little bit of time to set in completely. And then I also applied an EOS lip balm just before I apply any product, and those are kind of two steps that I always try to remember to do before putting on any makeup at all, and that way your skin can just kind of be prepped really nicely, because good makeup starts with good skin. Secondly, or thirdly I guess, I put a little bit of a color corrector, and at the moment I don't have an actual color corrector, so I just take a little bit of a light pastel green shadow on my pinky, and then because my skin has a little bit of moisturizer or product on there, the eyeshadow that I just dabbed on a very, very red blemish was able to kind of set in and stay. And it's just going to make concealing that blemish a lot easier. So let's just get started. Now I really want to focus on making my skin look very even and as flawless as possible. And my favorite foundation in order to achieve that look is Studio Fix Fluid. I absolutely love this foundation. It covers amazingly, and once it sets on the skin, for me personally, it looks best after about an hour or so of being on my skin, because it just kind of, the natural oils and everything, it just sets really nicely. But I'm going to take a 109 brush and just start at the center of my face and work my way outwards, just kind of in little swirly motions. And this is just going to buff right across the skin. Next, I plan on covering any blemishes or discoloration, so I'm going to grab a fluffy blending brush. This is a 224, and some concealer that is significantly close to the foundation color. So in this case, I mix Studio Sculpt Concealer in NW20 and NW25, and that was as close as I could get to the foundation shade that I'm wearing, which is NW22. And I'm just going to lightly blend that underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to knock out any redness caused by blemishes. I'm next going to apply a bit of a paint pot to my lid as a primer, and this is in the shade Soft Ochre. And I'm just taking it from upper lash line to brow bone. The first shade that I'm going to add to my lid is going to be Vanilla Pigment, and I have just pressed this from pigment, loose pigment form into a pan. That way it's easier for traveling or in your palette. And I'm just going to put this all along the inner tear duct area and the first third of my lid. And I want to take this quite far in towards the bridge of the nose, just so that it's really bright in here. Next, we're going to take a very soft and somewhat metallic smoky gray silver color, and we're going to pick up where the vanilla color left off and bring it on the rest of the lid in a very rounded shape. And I'm just lightly blending the two colors back and forth, just so that it's very seamless. I'm going to take a black kohl liner, and I'm just going to lightly, almost as if I'm coloring in between my upper lash line, so I'm not even aiming for the lid. and I'm actually going to connect the liner. So we're going to take it out to the corner and then bring it down. And I'm barely tapping the skin here just because it blends. There's so much product here already when you blend it, so you really need not apply very much. And I'm only taking the liner on the bottom, barely the bottom third. Take a pencil brush and lightly blend out. And if you feel like you have too much product moving around and blending, just take off any excess, and I just brush it on my hand. That way it's not like a smoky eye. We don't want a smoky eye. So if there's any inclination that you feel it's too much product, like I said, just take it off. And really that's just to draw the eyes out and make the lashes on the bottom look a little bit fuller. And we're just going to blend in between the lashes on the top. And like I said, just keep taking off any excess. And that's why I mentioned earlier that you really don't need to apply a lot of the eye kohl, because it blends out so nicely that you don't need to use a lot of product. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of the kohl liner and color on the back of my hand. Pick up some with the pencil brush, smear it on there, and then I'm going to create a shape on the lid of where I want to deepen up the crease color. And this is where I'm going to add the matte black. And I want to kind of draw it out a little bit and upwards. And this is a great way to sketch out the shape. And it's also going to make that matte black shadow that we're going to put on top of it stay longer as well. So we're kind of like priming that area as well. Next I'm just going to take a matte black shade, this one up here, and a 217 blending brush. And I always like to start small, so just barely dip your brush in there, because you can always add more, but it's really difficult to correct a mistake when black anything is involved. As far as liner, shadow, start with less and just build up the color. And I'm just placing it where we place that kohl liner. And I'm probably going to work at this step for a while because I want it very deep in the outer V. And this is what I have at the end of that. Out of all that color packing on and just the blending, layering, this is what I want. Just a little bit smoked out here, and we're going to blend that. So that's not going to be the final shape. It's very harsh right now, kind of in this triangle, but we're going to blend it out. Next, what you want to do is just take kind of a fleshy color, whatever highlight is good for your skin tone. So I'm going to use this one. And unfortunately, this was a limited edition palette that came out with a M.A.C holiday collection a couple of years back. But a highlight color is not something that's too difficult to come by. And I'm just going to use a 224, the one that I had used concealer for earlier. And I'm just going to blend out this harsh edge. Now all the blending made it a little bit gray, the black in the corner, so I'm just going to take a little bit on a very fluffy brush and I'm just going to pat it back in the corner. And it just kind of brings it to life a little bit. Now taking a clean 224 brush, I'm just going to blend out the edges. Now I'm just going to do my brows really quick before I move on to mascara, and I'm going to do pretty much the same procedure that I did in the last tutorial, brow gel. And I want to just mention that I think that not perfectly, but well-groomed brows in this look particularly is very important. You just want to look very well manicured, groomed, so pluck any strays that you have, and I did that right before I started filming. And I am going to take a matte brown shadow and just apply it to my brows. Okay, I think that's about as even as I'm going to get them today, and I'm just going to go back with brow gel again and brush through and lock in that color. I just curled my lashes, and now I'm going to add a couple coats of M.A.C Zoom Fast Black Lash Mascara. And make sure to get the back of your lashes as well. And can I just say that I really like how this mascara makes my lashes look. Really lengthens and thickens at the same time. I think I want to pop just a little bit lighter of a highlight color in there underneath the brow bone. Very lightly, I'm just going to run a white eyeliner along the waterline. And I'm not really aiming for color payoff right now. I'm just trying to reduce redness. Now I'm going to add false lashes, but one of the tricks that I do, when I find that I've worn a pair of lashes maybe like once or twice and they look like they're starting to die, I'll try and get one last use if I can, and I'll cut probably like a third of the lash and take it and apply it as, and this is the inner part. So this is where you would usually put here, but I'm actually, since I cut it, I'm going to use it on the outer side as a demi wisp false lash on the outer corner. Just because I want a little bit of lift, but I don't want to put on full strips, just because I think that that'll be too heavy on the lid. I'm just going to apply a very thin layer of glue across the band. I'm just going to lightly place this little baby strip right on the outside corner. And that's how they look afterwards. So the glue is drying on my lashes, and I'm going to move on to cheek color. And I'm first going to grab a cream blush, and this is Ladyblush, and I'm just going to put it on my ring finger and lightly dab it just all along my cheekbone. And then I like to just kind of pull it back towards my ear. Next I'm going to take Dame Blush and just apply it right on top of where I place the cream blush. And this way the color is going to really lock in and be a little bit more vibrant, but not too much. I really want a soft color. Now I'm just going to use my usual contour color, which is Harmony, and I'm going to take it on a 165 brush and just do the usual. The last thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of a highlighter, and I'm going to use Soft and Gentle and just lightly dust it and then bring it backwards right over the cheek color. Lastly, I'm just going to add some lip color, and I'm just going to take it straight from the tube, and this is kind of a deep mauve-y color. Lastly, I'm just going to take a translucent powder and lightly dust that anywhere that I am particularly shiny or where I know I am going to get oily. And this is my red carpet ready completed look using only M.A.C products. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.